dates and events from across the globe that paint a portrait of the many changes being cast upon the earth in our time. We'll begin with this amazing footage from Belo Horizonte, Brazil, where an intense flash flood swept away dozens of vehicles, a scene that is occurring all too frequently as it captures our attention. According to civil defense authorities, the region received half of its average historical monthly rain in the span of 20 minutes. Hailstorms are becoming the new norm. Like torrential, inundating rains, they are becoming a serious threat as they leave a path of devastation in their wake. A powerful hailstorm swept across several counties in Texas on March 18th. This rare satellite image from the NOAA shows the extent of the hail track that was left behind by severe storms across this region. The two bands shown above are showing the amount of hail lying on the ground as observed from space. The image to the upper right is the sequence of hail occurrence as indicated by radar, while the lower right image shows tracks from stronger rotating storms. Large hail struck the Texas cities of Caldwell and Waco, as shown in this image via Twitter. This video compilation shows a time-lapse of the supercell that moved into the region, followed by the immense hailstorm that produced baseball-size hail. The hail that fell in north-central Texas was immense, but the hailstorm that struck in northern Alabama on March 19th was so terrifying that it virtually destroyed everything in its path. Hail the size of softballs crashed down on cars and buildings, smashed through windows and roofs, and caused ceilings to collapse. The following video compilation shows the intensity of the storm as giant hailstones fell from the sky in the city of Cullman and not far away in Madison County, Alabama.
like there's about maybe 500 of us in the beside the store area, the pickup area. We're all okay.
The spring equinox may have officially arrived, but for many people living in the Canadian province of New Brunswick, it still seems very much like winter. The third in a series of nor'easter storms this month have imperiled the province of New Brunswick, where many feet of snow have fallen, knocking out power to thousands of residents. The images out of Bathurst showing huge snowdrifts are simply incredible. Do you know that there are rivers that exist in the sky? Better known as atmospheric rivers, they are narrow conveyor belts of vapor that extend thousands of miles out to sea along the Pacific coast. They carry enough moisture to fill the Mississippi River 15 times over. They strike as a series of storms that can last for days or even weeks. They are capable of dropping many inches of rain and feet of snow. What is being called the biggest storm of the year is heading towards the Pacific coast of California. A strong and unusual weather system is threatening to create havoc. In December of 1861 and the beginning of 62, an atmospheric river that brought storms for 43 days turned California's Central Valley into an inland sea, 300 miles long and 20 miles wide. Thousands of people died, 800,000 cattle drowned, and the state went bankrupt. If a similar disaster happened today, it would be far more devastating since California is more densely populated and because it is the largest food producer in the United States. Geologic core samples extracted from California show that extreme events like the one from 1861 happen about every 200 years. So another similar event is just about overdue. The weather anomaly that is soon expected to hit California will most likely tap into that atmospheric river. The National Weather Service is indicating that the anticipated system will become the largest and most dangerous storm thus far in 2018. Rainfall rates could reach levels that increase the risk of mudslides and debris flows in Southern California as a result of the recent wildfires that have plagued the region. Meanwhile, heavy snow is expected in the Sierra Nevada, where recent series of storms has already dumped a record 16 feet of snow in the month of March. So this anomaly is certainly one that many people will be certain to keep vigil over as its effects begin settling in. The receding of the ocean waters continues. The anomalous occurrence began last August in the southern hemisphere and has now extended its reach into the northern latitudes where the seas are retreating in a strange occurrence from the southwest shores of Sakhalin Island in Russia's Far East. It began on March 19th in the Kuril Islands with the eruption of the epical volcano, where a plume of ash and gas was hurled 2 kilometers above sea level. The following evening, March 20th, the ocean waters almost completely disappeared along the southwest coast of Sakhalin Island for as far as the eyes could see. This tidal phenomena, like almost every other similar occurrence, is being blamed on the accumulation of powerful storms, an explanation which has yet to resonate with the public, since most of these events have been anomalous in nature. Coincidentally, a similar retreat of the waters, which were not associated with alleged storms, happened on Sakhalin Island in 2007 when earthquakes hit the Novalsk region. They generated 3 tsunami waves of 10.5 feet in height. The earthquakes also released methane from the coal beds in the coastal zone of 25 miles in length. They caused an uplift of the seaport and the destruction of many buildings, bridges, and roads in this region. It may be worth noting that a tsunami has never been reported in the Tatar Strait in the history of observations. Therefore, this particular phenomena, like so many others in recent months, is one that has people shaking their heads and wondering what on earth is happening to the waters, since explanations from officials are not sufficient enough to solve the riddle of the disappearing seas that are now happening all too often. As we look towards a